Hey everyone, it's Paul Bertorelli reporting for Avweb and Aviation Consumer. A little bit windy to be on the ramp today. The airplane I'm sitting in, the new Diamond DA62 on the ground, looks fast, sleek, sexy, and expensive. It is. I first encountered what eventually became the DA62 4 years ago in Europe and flew it in a test version when it was still called the DA52. Now it's all grown up, certified, and is selling briskly for a twin. The DA62 is the most refined variant of the original DA42, a diesel-powered twin that found good sales in the training market. The DA62 is unique for having up to 7 seats and a pair of large gull-wing doors for ingress and egress. It's physically quite a bit larger than the DA42, with a 3-foot longer wingspan and a much wider cabin interior. Like the DA42, the DA62 has a large top-hinge rear entry door. For engines, it has Austro AE330s, which at 180 horsepower are the most powerful Austros yet. I connected with Diamond's Brent Eddington for a checkout. But first, a quick walk around. The DA62 is tall on its gear, and the top of that T-tail is a foot higher than the DA42. You'll need a ladder to see the top of it. The airplanes are typically equipped with TKS de-icing, oxygen systems, and bright, efficient LED landing and position lights. Carbon fiber is used throughout in the construction, and there's generous baggage space in the 2 nose compartments. At 5,071 pounds, the DA62 is Diamond's heaviest airplane yet. Useful load is about 1,600 pounds.
We've just taken off out of Plant City. We've done some air work, including some engine out installs. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, Brent, let's go over this airplane. We did the walk around. This is a significantly bigger airplane than the DA42, and it's a lot of different improvements and changes in the system. Let's talk about what some of those changes are.
Sure, absolutely. We've stayed with the 10-inch screens with the 1000. So, as you mentioned, she's gotten longer and wider. If we were to compare it to the DA42, you and I would be shoulder to shoulder at this stage in the game. It gives us the ability to a little more comfort in the on the flight deck. The engines have gotten bigger on this airplane, so they've gone from 168 horses on the DA42 to 180 in the airplane.
And that engine designation is AE330?
330.
180 horsepower. That's continuous?
Yes.
And I think it was mostly done in the software. There are no mechanical changes?
Yeah, mostly done in the software. A few tweaks in the fuel delivery system, but yeah, mostly a software management. So they've gone from the AE300 in terms of fuel capacity. Fuel capacity on board the airplane's 86 gallons, 25 gallons in the mains, and then gallons either side in the auxiliary tanks.
Now, considering we're cruising along here, we're at 9,500 feet. And we're 175 knots true, burning 7.5 per side, 15 gallons tow. That's a lot of fuel. And I believe the useful load is 1,600 pounds?
At 1,600 pounds. If you factor out the fuel, you still have 1,000 pounds useful load on the airplane.
Okay, so in this airplane, and I'll show some B-roll here of the seats and the accommodations, we've got 6 or 7 seats.
It's 7 seats, 2 seats in the front, 3 seats in the second row, and then 2 seats in the back.
Okay, so depending on the weights of those people, you can actually put people in those seats.
Yes, it's a respectable, useful load. What we've found is a lot of people that have been looking at this airplane are I have 2 kids, husband and a wife combination as well, and we carry a lot of luggage. Perfect. This airplane will do exactly that for you. The third row of seats becomes a cargo area configuration. You put it up along with the cargo space that we talked about in the nose as well, and it becomes a true family SUV is how it's been marketed, and I agree with it.
How about CG on the airplane?
Okay, CFG, very respectable range, and when we get on the ground, we can take a look at the center of gravity side. You can definitely load this airplane up and not be overly concerned with driving it to the aft CFG limit.
And as far as engine management, you caught me kind of giggling over here when I was starting it up because it's so simple.
Yep.
And I'll show some B-roll of this too. To start these engines, you just turn the master on and push this big glorious silver button. The engine sort of shakes a little bit, although you barely notice it as it's running. You do that on both sides. And then for the run-up, completely automatic there. Test lane A, lane B, and then hold the ECU push buttons and it runs through the automatic routine, and that's it.
That's it.
And we filmed a engine shutdown, which is equally simple.
Take the left-hand end down.
Okay.
So, good. Speed-wise, we're looking good. So when you're ready, left master switch to off position.
Okay, we're shutting down the left engine.
And the auto feather.
Dead foot, dead engine, a little bit of bank into the right, and bring up the right power. About 200 feet a minute of climb. The heading's in about the same zip code. Let me
that's pretty good.
We'll turn to the right here.
Awesome.
Okay, so I got 92% of power. Back into the left engine. A little bit more rudder. See what I can get out of it.
Okay.
And VYSE is
87.
87. Pitch it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
There's 500 feet.
Impressive, isn't it?
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, and she's full of fuel on the mains and 10 boxes, so.
So we got a 2-minute limit.
Got a 2-minute limit.
Okay, so to restart.
Okay, so to restart, bring the nose up just slightly, bring her back to about 90 knots.
Okay.
Okay. Bring that dead engine throttle back to idle.
Check
Throttle back to idle.
Okay, and left engine master on.
Left engine on and pump the starter.
There you
And
go.
there we go, we're running. Left engine power
Check
coming up.
gear.
Right engine a little back. And we're recovered.
Perfect.
Very easy.
Well done.
You could do this. And it's also got electrically adjustable rudder pedals, which, I mean, we don't see that very often in airplanes, but in an airplane of this class,
It is, and it's
a nice thing to have.
standard in this airplane.
And now we get to the painful part, which is the standard price of this airplane.
1.08 million for the standard price. Okay.
0.08. Okay, I thought it was a little higher than that. And that, what options can be included?
So running down that, electronic stability control is standard now. ADSB in and out standard as well. Your electrically controlled rudder pedals, of course, standard. Garmin G1000, all the Diamond products, with the exception of the DA20, have the G1000 in it, so that comes standard as well. Everything above that, onboard oxygen, air conditioning, radar, for example, TKS, those are all options to be added on.
And speaking of the autopilot and the avionics in this, it does have envelope protection. So we went out and did some steep turns, and when you get above a certain bank angle, you get pushback, you get control pressure to feed you back towards 30 degrees of bank. Same thing on the pitch to kind of keep you out of trouble if you're not paying attention.
Exactly. Yep, it's an airplane that is very docile, as we talked about on the ground through the whole flight envelope, including electronic stability protection to add to the safety factor.
You can find a full report on the DA62 in the June 2016 issue of Aviation Consumer at aviationconsumer.com. Thanks for watching.